Here in Uganda, in the African society, we have those homemade balls. Yeah, the ones we use as we use for dodgeball. And it's possible they found this grenade that was resembling a ball, and they decided to toss it around. And no matter how long the grenade had been in the ground, it is still explosive, it is still a weapon. And at the end of it all, it claimed all of these kids' lives.
Well, either way, we just call parents to be very curious. And in relation to this, the police has issued out guidelines to the public to be very vigilant on these attacks that are going on, but also for any suspect of any crime, please report. And it's from this that I would say the police has issued guidelines to the public as one of the ways to fight the terrorist attacks that are cropping up across the country. The Chief Political Commissioner, Arsene Kasingye, says it's very important for every Ugandan to be vigilant as terrorism comes in many forms. But also the Inspector General of Police Martin Okoth, has directed that all professional IT police officers to be deployed in the ICT directorate to fill the gaps leading to the directive underperformance.
Now the last part is very interesting, and it catches my curiosity to the maximum. Reason being, an example of here in the Kampala Metropolitan, we have a lot of CCTV cameras. I think most of us can bear witness on almost every street that you pass, every corner that you turn, there is at least a CCTV camera that is overlooking that street. But here is the thing, most of these CCTV cameras are up but are not monitored 24/7.
Yeah.
Now, if they were monitored 24/7, I'm sure we would have a little bit less crime, because there will be a watchful eye. Let me call it the eagle's eye.
Because it should be also recalled that the incidents of Katumba, the general,
Yes.
the daughter that was assassinated, it was the same incident where the daughter was killed, shot to death. But the present keyboard boy are like, where were these people on ICT? Because they would have detected what? They would have detected that these people are onto something, and they would have reported it to the officials or the nearby policemen.
Yes.
But now, for this case, I would say that, yeah, what the Inspector General of Police said is right, that he's going to dispute, but also he should take hold on these people who are onto the CCTV to be active, not just be looking at the cameras, but also to detect any crime that is happening.
Yes, but that's true. But also, I think the advice, if I was in the place of power, what I would suggest is connecting even the private cameras onto the general grid of the CCTV cameras that are owned by the government, that are owned by the state. This will help in increasing the coverage, or in areas where the government has not established CCTV cameras yet. I'm sure in the future they will put them up. But for the meantime, why don't we connect with the private people, the people who have cameras on their homes, the people who have cameras at their business establishments, people who have cameras on everywhere? Why don't we connect these cameras onto the general grid so that we have a better view, a better angle on what's going on, and an easier way of solving crime? And I think that would be very helpful.
I believe that is a good idea, because where are these cameras? Mostly they're onto the main roads. So mostly where the cameras don't reach, at least we have those private homes that have cameras. So they would also share all these clips.
Yes, it will be very.
It will be very careful.
It will be a very good addition to the security. And
but either way, we appreciate that what the officials are also doing. They're also working hand in hand. I hear they are all over the place. If they find it before curfew time.
Oh yes, curfew has been very strict. Previously we had taken it for granted, but right now, actually one of these days, if you go to the park past the hours of 6:37, you're going to fail to get a taxi because they're not there. And
yeah, they're not there. By the way, I would also say another thing. The other day I was walking, I was moving, and I decided to walk, but it was around 6:30. But you could see people moving. They were walking, a lot of people. That's why they say the numbers, people boarding nowadays are late. It's 50-50 nowadays.
That is true. That is true, because you're not going to find.
But they were on the rush because it was almost curfew. Good enough, I was almost reaching home, but people were serious, like they didn't want curfew to return.
Because
But
it's very tight, yeah.
we call upon everybody to be vigilant. For any crime, please report to the officials. Parents, take care of your children because these are the new generation we are having. But to continue, Jude, we have another story that broke our hearts. It's the death of the first female MP who lost her life.
Yes.
Yeah, she was the first female Ugandan MP. She died over the weekend. She became the first MP in 1962 when Uganda got her independence. Yeah.
Yes. Now, her name,
She's known as Florence Lubega.
yes, Florence Lubega, who was the first female MP here in the Ugandan Parliament, and she passed on. I think she passed on over the weekend.
Yeah,
So suddenly
on Saturday.
that we have lost such a. I want to call her a head.
Yeah.
Because she established. You remember those days in the African culture where women could not be in power, women could not be in the high
They have to be in the kitchen.
Exactly. But she broke that norm by being the first Ugandan MP, and yes,
This reminds me of the first vice president.
the first of
Wandela
Uganda.
Kaziwe, you remember?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
so-
And yes, women are achieving a lot.
Well, it's sad we are losing such people that we look up to, but it's bad. But in another news, Jude, we have the UK finally approves Uganda's COVID-19 e-vaccination certificate.
Yes. Now, it was this was taken into consideration by Uganda's government because we are trying to fight COVID-19, right? But at the airport, you are required to present a physical certificate,
Yeah.
which kind of beats the whole idea of trying to fight because you're still getting into contact with papers that are moving on from one person to another.
Yeah.
And they came up with an idea of, an e-vaccine certificate where you can present it. You take a COVID test
Yeah.
and you get the certificate online. So there is no contact.
You pay online, you
You
get
pay
the
online, so everything is online. And when you present it, it's authentic. It has a QR code where you can scan to show the details under it. And yeah, I think it's a very good initiative.
It's
And-
very good because remember the day before, we saw a group of travelers that were at the airport complaining they waited for the result but they were not receiving them.
That's true.
So I think it's good that this also is helping out.
Yeah.
But it also, as this is Behold Africa, you don't only bring you news in Uganda but also news all over the African countries.
That's true.
And the sad story is 2 dead, hundreds evacuated after the pipeline explosion in South Africa. Petroleum company named as the Transnet Pipeline National Operation Center.
Now, it is said that this explosion happened on Sunday afternoon when some culprits attempted to steal
Yeah.
oil
Yeah.
from the pipeline. So I assume they wanted to cut the pipe and remove some oil and put it on the black market, and it kind of backfired. And
The
they
plot went
lost.
sour.
Yes, the plot went sour. 2 died, and hundreds had to evict the area that they were in because the explosion. As we know, petroleum is very explosive, and it can cover a very vast distance.
Anyway, our viewers, you should try to follow, share the link, and also keep locked in because we have more of these details of the news. We shall share the videos of these news headlines. But let us go to cut it short. Let us first go into the newspapers that we're having.
Yes, right here as usual, I am having a Daily Monitor issue of today,
Yeah.
which is November 2021, November 1st, 2021. Just a reminder for some of us who do not keep a watchful eye on our calendars. The headlines here, some of the headlines in here say, first COVID jab for MPs sparks uproar. NMGU to unveil mobile-friendly monitor website. So yeah, you will definitely be getting the Daily Monitor on your smart gadget instead of having to purchase a hard copy issue. And this is also, I think, is also a good initiative. We don't have to get our hands on physical papers. Then there is Cheptegei. Cheptegei Karo, love takes Quen by storm. This is this happened over the weekend where Cheptegei got introduced to the family of Karo. It's a very good one. COVID seeks to produce COVID vaccine locally. I think this will be very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Judiciary gets 47 new magistrates. The list of these magistrates that are coming into the new judiciaries, the names are here and what they're going to be doing. Dubai Expo opens Uganda to Middle East market. This is by UTB. And yes, Lilia Jarova, the CEO of UTB, brings us more details on how this is going to help the Ugandan market, and yeah, you can read all about it here in the Daily Monitor. Nabanja relays public to support bill reforms. UNBS closes maize mills in crackdown. Masaka leaders clash over blocked roads. Medics refer patients to clinics as hospital equipment lie idle.
Jude, I'm holding New Vision. Well, our viewers, that is Daily Monitor. You can catch the copy of yours. It's on the streets of Kampala if you want to read more about this. But also you can stay tuned on YouTube. One goes struck off the pension payroll. You have heard about that story?
Yes, I have.
And this is, it's not surprising for me because it's not the first time I'm hearing this. Why we have the ghosts receiving money.
Where is the money going? Who are the ghosts?
Well, also New Vision says 8 more arrested over the bombs that are happening. So you can also get this copy. It has more. New Vision says the First Lady appreciates the government of Ireland support to school reopening plan. As we all know, the universities are already
they actually reopened today.
Yeah.
For the post-secondary students, those that are lucky to go back to school, kudos to you, and I hope you make the most of it because some people are still sitting at home. So, yeah, it's a good thing.
The mental illness high in the refugee settlement.
Here, in relation to the health, Health Living in Daily Monitor says early detection helped Safan beat acute leukemia. You can read about it and you see how early detection is going to help you, forego some of these illnesses.
I'll end with this story in New Vision. Infections, poor diet, increasing post-birth bleeding, experts say. As we all know, there is a high increase in the post-maternal deaths that are happening.
That is true.
So the New Vision has brought you the details of what causes all this. Yeah. So catch up a copy of this, of New Vision.
And Daily Monitor.
I'm also having Bouquet Day for those who love Uganda and who understand the Luganda. And Luganda Bouquet Day egamba bafunziza owa bomu eyadduka mu bbaasi. Bakutte jjajja ku bya bomu eyasse abaana. Bouquet Day kuleetedde engeri ekivvulu ky'abayimbi Bannayuganda gye kyayise e South Africa. Nekuleetedde ebifaananyi wano nga basitudde. Bonna bali awo tebabitegeera. Sobola okwefunira kopi yo. Bouquet Day yongedde okuleetera engeri gye baaziseemu abaana abaafiira mu bbomu. Bouquet Day.
Here, just to close up, for those of us who are very interested in sports, you are most definitely to find some sports news in here in the Daily Monitor, and one of the headline goes like, Onyango sets penalty, saves world record. So yes, for those of you out there looking to find some news, more news on what's going on around the country, what has been going on through the weekend, get yourself an issue of Daily Monitor and some more from Bouquet Day.
Well, Bouquet Day ina story endala gyeleese abadde yakava ku kyeyo atiddwa gw'abadde aweereza ssente. Well, now this story also I'll talk about it, but let me you know, Jude, like these people who send money, who go out to work abroad,
Yes.
and they send money. Now, for this story, because I read about it, the partner sent money to the husband, but on return, and they asked for the money or any development or the plans, the husband was not showing any. So along the conflicts as the domestic was happening, the guy decides to kill the wife. But also he killed himself too.
That is very saddening.
Well, look at the bullet at the
the
Nkumbi Terimba. Catch up a copy of your farmers. Those who want to know about farming, especially the farming of tomatoes. Well, we had a lot in this. Please catch a copy. Don't miss. There's a lot of news you shouldn't miss because it has been a long weekend. You shouldn't miss on this. Catch a copy on the streets if you want to know the details of this. Well, after this, we are going into the weather forecast because we all believe we want to know what's happening in the weather. We have to carry the umbrella, and we have Sandra who is going to bring you this. But now we can share you the videos that we have been talking about the news, especially the
one for the explosion.
Yeah, the explosion in South Africa.
Yes, so stay tuned, don't go anywhere because we are still right here on UTC Media, and Behold Africa still goes on. And yes, we shall keep bringing you new scoops on everything that is happening around the world, around Africa, here in Uganda, here in
hundreds
Kampala.
others evacuated after an underground pipeline in Cloud, Durban, South Africa caught fire, forcing hundreds of local residents to seek refuge on a nearby football pitch. It is alleged 3 people were involved in a botched fuel theft attempt, leading to a fire outbreak that engulfed business buildings and an informal settlement. Explosions and rapid fires broke out in the area at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Firefighters, paramedics, police and Metro Police responded to the scene and were able to put out the fire. Local security company Security Force said several people suffered smoke inhalation. The petroleum company involved, known as the Transnet Pipeline National Operations Center, immediately shut down the pipeline and activated the emergency response plan. The company claimed there has been an unprecedented spate of fuel theft incidents on its pipelines and infrastructures during the last 2 years. The cause of the fire is still being investigated by the South African authorities. 2 people died and hundreds others evacuated after an underground pipeline in Cloud, Durban, South Africa caught fire, forcing hundreds of local residents to seek refuge on a nearby football pitch. It is alleged 3 people were involved in a botched fuel theft attempt, leading to a fire outbreak that engulfed business buildings and an informal settlement. Explosions and rapid fires broke out in the area at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Firefighters, paramedics, police and Metro Police responded to the scene and were able to put out the fire. Local security company Security Force said several people suffered smoke inhalation. The petroleum company involved, known as the Transnet Pipeline National Operations Center, immediately shut down the pipeline and activated the emergency response plan. The company claimed there has been an unprecedented spate of fuel theft incidents on its pipelines and infrastructures during the last 2 years. The cause of the fire is still being investigated by the South African authorities. 2 people died and hundreds others evacuated after an underground pipeline in Cloud, Durban, South Africa caught fire, forcing hundreds of local residents to seek refuge on a nearby football pitch. It is alleged 3 people were involved in a botched fuel theft attempt, leading to a fire outbreak that engulfed business buildings and an informal settlement. Explosions and rapid fires broke out in the area at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Firefighters, paramedics, police and Metro Police responded to the scene and were able to put out the fire. Local security company Security Force said several people suffered smoke inhalation. The petroleum company involved, known as the Transnet Pipeline National Operations Center, immediately shut down the pipeline and activated the emergency response plan. The company claimed there has been an unprecedented spate of fuel theft incidents on its pipelines and infrastructures during the last 2 years. The cause of the fire is still being investigated by the South African authorities. 2 people died and hundreds others evacuated after an underground pipeline in Cloud, Durban, South Africa caught fire, forcing hundreds of local residents to seek refuge on a nearby football pitch. It is alleged 3 people were involved in a botched fuel theft attempt, leading to a fire outbreak that engulfed business buildings and an informal settlement. Explosions and rapid fires broke out in the area at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Firefighters, paramedics, police and Metro Police responded to the scene and were able to put out the fire. Local security company Security Force said several people suffered smoke inhalation. The petroleum company involved, known as the Transnet Pipeline National Operations Center, immediately shut down the pipeline and activated the emergency response plan. The company claimed there has been an unprecedented spate of fuel theft incidents on its pipelines and infrastructures during the last 2 years. The cause of the fire is still being investigated by the South African authorities. 2 people died and hundreds others evacuated after an underground pipeline in Clearwood, Durban, South Africa caught fire, forcing hundreds of local residents to seek refuge on a nearby football pitch. It is alleged 3 people were involved in a botched fuel theft attempt, leading to a fire outbreak that engulfed business buildings and an informal settlement. Explosions and rapid fires broke out in the area at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Firefighters, paramedics, police and Metro Police responded to the scene and were able to put out the fire. Local security company Security Force said several people suffered smoke inhalation. The petroleum company involved, known as the Transnet Pipeline National Operations Center, immediately shut down the pipeline and activated the emergency response plan. The company claimed there has been an unprecedented spate of fuel theft incidents on its pipelines and infrastructures during the last 2 years. The cause of the fire is still being investigated by the South African authorities.
Thank you, Brendan Jude. You talked about the bombs. You've been talking about bombs. I think it's 3 days now when you're giving us reports of bombs. The people who lost their lives, may their innocent soul rest in peace. It's first Monday, November 2021. I'm Naminim Sandra with your weather forecast news. Those who missed the first session, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, UTC Media everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, like and comment. Don't forget that New Vision has brought you more than 20 jobs. Tell a friend to tell a friend not to miss that opportunity. Back to our weather forecast news. People are still asking me what is humidity, yet I talked about it last time, but I won't get tired of talking about it. Humidity is the amount of water vapor in the air. Like tuchita or lufu, yeah, that is humidity. Look what, and you hear some people saying omusana gugenda kwaka mungi oba enkuba egenda kutonya, so that is humidity or lufu. And in Kampala today, still I'll start with our central, that is Kampala and areas around Kampala. Kampala, it's partly cloudy. Currently it's 18 degrees Celsius and the high will be 27 degrees Celsius. Chances of rain today we have 10%. Kuwanga nela tuzukusa obudde buli fair. It wasn't too cold. However much it's getting hot now. So chances of rain are 10%. Humidity is 92%. Gulu, that is our north. In the north, it is still currently 21 degrees Celsius, that is cloudy, and the high will be 33 degrees Celsius. However much in Gulu, there are no chances of rain. The chances of rain are 0%. And when it is 0%, of course, the humidity will be kind of low. That is 77%. It will feel like 21 degrees. And visibility is 12.9 kilometer. Yeah, that is our north people in the north. Mr. Edema, Aiko, Amanilu. I think I've talked about that. You don't need to worry because chances of rain are 0%. So that you can leave your shelter behind, you can leave the umbrella. I know you have difficulties in carrying them, so please, today the chances of rain are 0%. However, it's weather forecast. We are not 100% sure. You can still move with it just in case. But if the chances of rain are 0%, then I think you can leave it behind. When we go to our east, that is Ginger and areas around Ginger. I have a friend there, Kathy. Yeah, I think you're ready at work. And currently it's 20 degrees Celsius and the high will be 27 degrees Celsius. However, the chances of rain in Ginger are 10%. Yeah, so in case you have not left home already, and you're not yet at work, you can still move with your sweater, because if chances are 10%, I think there are some chances of getting some drops of rain, and humidity is 88%. I think Olufulu could say a ginger. You're expecting some rain. You may not expect it, you may not get it, but it will be kind of cold because it's partly cloud already. Yeah, I even called you before this, Kathy, to get sure if it's really currently cloudy, and you told me, yeah, it's cloudy and it's kind of cold, so I never to move it with your sweater. It feels like 21 degrees and visibility is 11.3 kilometer. We got our west. West still, it's partly cloudy. I have so many friends in the west, so I'm sure you're tuned on, you're watching. Please and please, I have soldiers like traffic officers, and I'm sure your duty is not yet on. You're still in your tents, you're still in your camps, so never to move with your sweater. However much uniforms are bulungi, but you can move with your sweater because chances of rain are 30% and humidity is 90%. Yeah, I called you very early in the morning, you couldn't pick. Madam Sarah, I called you very early in the morning, you couldn't pick to confirm if it's partly cloudy really, but here I think it's partly cloudy according to our research, and the chances of rain are 30%. However, humidity is 90%. That means you're expecting rain by hook or crook. It might not be a lot, but I'm sure, because it's still cold. Like when I called you at night, you told me it's very cold, and you had some drops of rain at night, yeah. And in the morning I called you to confirm if it's still partly cloudy like my research is showing, and you didn't pick. But however, that is okay. The chances of rain are still like 30%, and humidity is 90%. That is in the west. Our program is still Behold Africa. We don't stop only in Uganda, we go outside our cities in Africa. And today I'm starting with Nairobi. Look here, much later I think you're watching, like I told you. And we have been WhatsApping and you confirmed it that it's partly cloudy. Not forgetting that it's still raining in different parts of the world, so it's still cloudy even outside Uganda. Those are the cities around Africa I'm going to manage to talk about. And in Nairobi it's 10%. And look here, I know you have asthma and you've been complaining it's cold, and we're expecting some drops of rain. Humidity is 83% and visibility is 9.7 kilometer. That is in Nairobi. Please look here, I still need you. I know how asthma treats you. Carry your sweater. I know you're not yet at work. Yeah, tell your friends to carry their sweaters as well. Tell the friend I've been talking to remind you to carry your sweater. I know you're lazy in that. We shall go back to Jamestown. It's clear. Jamestown, it's clear. However much it's still raining in different parts of the country and in the world as large. Jamestown, it's clear and chances of rain 0%. However much the chances of rain are 0%, Baina Olufu, that side. Humidity is 97%. And visibility is 8.1 kilometer. However, it feels like 0 degrees. However much it's partly cloudy, but our chances of rain our chances of rain are 0% and humidity is 97. That means yeah, it's going to be like that. I think we call it like that. Chigenda bela wechityo. That is according to our research. Remember, it's not 100%. I'll go back to Kigali. Kigali, it's mostly cloudy. Chances of rain are 30%. People in Kigali, you're expecting some rain to the extent of 30%. However much, I don't have friends in Kigali, but I think I will look for some. If you have any, tap me on my social media handle. You give me a friend from Kigali. I need to connect with them. I get confirmation if it's really partly cloudy. because according to our research, it's 30% and humidity is 90%. That means they're expecting rain by o'clock. However, it's according to our research. Research is not 100% correct, but we're expecting something like rain. We shall go to Dodoma. It's partly cloudy. I think like I'll go back to my first statement. It's still raining in different parts of the world, and if it's partly cloudy, they're expecting something to the extent of 10%. That is Dodoma, and humidity is 84%. It feels like 20 degrees and visibility is 14.5 kilometers. However, we have been facing partly cloudy, but our chances of rain differs. It has been partly cloudy and chances of rain 10, partly cloudy, chances of rain at 30, partly cloudy and chances of rain at 0. So we have chances of rain all over the world. Not forgetting Kyle. Kyle says it's fog, but chances of rain are 0%. Humidity 77%. And in Cairo, it feels like 22 degrees. Visibility is 2.4 kilometers. I'll go to Accra. Accra, it's cloudy. We have been seeing cloudy, and to Accra, the chances of rain are 30%. Humidity is 91%. They have to receive rain by o'clock. I tried getting a friend from Accra, but our connection is still low. But in case the connection gets perfect, I'll be confirming it, because I have to confirm what I'm giving you. And they are expecting the chances of rain are 30%. That means they're already having some raindrops, I'm sure. According to how we were talking and the network was low, that means, you know, that means if weather changes, of course, networks are low. I'll not forget London. I have a friend in London, Anel. I have a mom in London. It's clear, and I confirmed it at night. So I talked to her on WhatsApp, and she was like, yeah, it's clear and very clear. Humidity is 70%. It feels like 8 degrees Celsius, and visibility is 16.1 kilometers. Yeah, she confirmed it, and for this, I'm sure that's it, because I confirmed, I talked to her. Though I talked to her at night, but still the expectations I had, it's what she gave me. Not forgetting New York. I don't have a friend in New York. I think I should get one. Those chances of rain at 0%. But now it feels like 15 degrees Celsius, and the highest will be 18 degrees Celsius. And visibility is 16.1 kilometers. Those have been our weather forecast. Been Namirim Sandra. Tell a friend to follow us on all our social media platforms. Happy birthday to all kings and queens of November. We are ready to celebrate you on UTC Media. Let's go back to our Studio B. I've been Namirim.
Well, thank you, Namiribe, for that. And I believe all your friends you have called all over the world and Africa, because they're all watching. They're aware that they're supposed to be moving with their umbrellas. They shouldn't miss that. Now, in this segment of ours, it marks the trending story. Begin with the trending stories. But before I continue, Sandra, you said happy birthday to our viewers. And today I would say it's Abraham's birthday. And as UTC Media Group, we wish you a happy birthday. We wish you all the best on this day. And please, send your greetings. We shall also be reading them here. Don't miss out on this show. Well, to start into our trending stories, we begin with a Kenyan. A Kenyan has been ranked among the top 5 best barista at the World Coffee Championship. Well, he's a Kenyan who, all the lovers of coffee, they know this. He's named as Martin Shabi. He has been ranked as the best Kenyan barista. Well, this shouldn't be a news story, because he has actually come out the fourth. He has 4 championships. He won the first 2015 in Kenya and the Nations. He also he won the 2017 and 2016. Now he has the
2021.
Yeah, 2021. So he has 4 championships at the national level, but also he's also struggling to remain with the one at the African level. Now we came on board as the champion among the top 5. So all those coffee lovers, I believe this is an interesting story for you. And Jude, are you a coffee lover, Jude?
Very much. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is a barista? I'm sure some of us out there, when you hear some words that are not commonly used, like a barista. Now, a barista is someone who brews coffee. Did you know coffee is brewed?
Yeah.
It's weird because in my head when you talk about brewing, I'm thinking about something that is alcoholic.
Getting drunk and...
Exactly, getting drunk. But I think you can also get drunk on coffee.
Yeah, you can. For all those coffee lovers, you can.
But a barista is someone who brews coffee at a coffee shop or coffee bar. And yes, his name is
Martin Shabi.
Martin Shabi, a Kenyan. So this is an East African privilege.
He's an African. He's an East African, but also an African, which is good. Which
is good. Yeah, so this keeps on putting us on the map.
Yeah.
And now he has come out number 5.
Number 5, and it's not new.
Around the whole world.
Around the whole world.
Which is very, very interesting.
But he has made his record straight because he has the 4 championship on the national level. Kenyan barista coffee champion. Yeah. Then he also is trying to compete with the African level. He has the title, but now on the world 5.
On the world top 5, which that's an achievement. Yeah.
Really
but yes, practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
When you set your goals on something, don't do it once, don't do it twice, but keep doing it. In the end, you will achieve the goals that you are looking for. Yeah, there are people who be like, okay, I did it once, I failed, I'm stopping here. Do not stop on the first try. Keep going, keep pushing forward.
But it's interesting because African, is this our preference?
In what term?
Coffee.
Coffee? Well, we are the ones who grow the coffee.
Yeah, we grow it, but I will tell you, we grow it, but we don't take it. Most of it is exported. Do you know that?
Yeah, that's true. Our coffee is focused on exportation.
Yeah.
For the most cases, it's
and
not
that
really
tells you that we don't embrace it. Though there are those who are
for those like me who actually love coffee. For me, my morning cup is always coffee.
I know you love coffee, so this is a story for you to tell.
Most definitely, I enjoyed a very well brewed cup of coffee. And yes, I give applause to the people out there.
Well, we are happy for Martin because he brought that.
Yeah.
Well, in our next world trending story, we have Kipchoge.
Yeah.
Being introduced by the wife.
Now, keep in mind, Kipchoge, Joshua Kipchoge is a Ugandan athlete medalist, who just came back from the Olympics.
He won the
gold medal. And won us a gold medal. I think that's the 3rd.
Yeah.
I think it's the 3rd. And he also, previously, he's the one who broke the record.
Yeah.
So, yes, over the weekend, he was introduced by his fiancée, and I give...
Well, this was exciting to all of us because I know we were excited for him when he got the gold medal.
Exactly.
So immediately when he got back, he started making arrangements to introduce the wife.
I think he has been looking forward to this, like, from way back. He was like,
when you get the opportunity and you get the finances, so you go for it.
Yes, I'm sure he has been we all look forward to that grand wedding. I don't think there's anybody out there who sits and goes like, I want my wedding to be meh. Well,
but also, Jude, I saw a clip over the weekend. Matia Kasaija, the minister, he was advising the youth, please, if you want to marry people, if you want to marry your spouses, don't wait for a lot of money. Take what you have. Don't be people's children when you're cohabiting.
That's true.
Take what you have. And he was giving us a scenario in their old days. They're just taking the local beers and all that with some few friends.
Yeah, you bring some brew and that is done. The wedding.
So he was telling the youth out there, please don't be. Somebody spends how many millions on just a wedding, a one-night wedding. And yet you're going to be renting at the end of the day, you're going to be sleeping.
But I say, in case the money is there, in case the
money is there,
do what you want, because this opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yes,
But if for those who don't have, don't be left out and just cohabit with somebody's
Mm-hmm,
daughter, or you say that kind of relationship just because you're limited by money.
and then there is also this thing here. Let me talk about like in Uganda here, where you want to exaggerate things. You don't have something, but you want to show the world like.
I believe that's part of us as Ugandans.
But we should change that kind of behavior. If you don't have something, work with what you got. Yeah. Instead of having to. Bakuita kwera visa. Eh? They call it kwera visa. That one. Kujanjawaza. Like you want to exaggerate something that is not there. You don't have the money. Work with the little that you have. But for someone who has their money, well, go out, go all out, and throw a grand wedding for your wife, because this is a one time. Yes, there are those
and by the way,
anniversaries and stuff.
this is good because we have been seeing a lot of weddings, especially the other day we talked about the
president's
daughter.
Yeah.
Which
Then,
is good now. This.
Yes. Then now, you know, a gold medalist. So I'm sure
It's an inspiration to all those sportsmen, all those runners he went with, because it's a tricky one for them to also go for it.
That is true.
Yeah.
So
Not only did he get the gold medal, but also he went
he got the
again
woman. Yeah. So he got the medal, then got the woman.
all together.
Which also kudos to that. It's a win. It's a
Well,
win-win.
Jude, we go into another tragic story of this groom who revealed to the wife that he has no legs on their wedding day.
Well, it's very interesting.
Let me ask you, would you do that?
You've had
As
that.
a woman, would you ask, oh no, if you're in the position, maybe if I was a woman and I had no legs, which I believe
in
is
this
fast,
case,
because as women, you would see our legs,
Legs,
like,
yeah.
because, but you gents, you're always in trousers, so it's hard.
So I'm not going to answer your question, but
What
since
if
you're
I
the
was-
woman on the show, I'm going to fire the question back at you. Would you go on with that wedding after your spouse, after your...
No, the wedding
Fiancé.
was already done.
Yeah, but there's divorcing on the altar. Like right
No,
there
actually,
and then...
Actually, the lady came on board. She's called Deborah,
Mhm.
and the gentleman is known as Jean. They're from Rwanda.
From Rwanda,
Yeah, they're
yes.
from Rwanda. Well, the lady narrated her story, and also the gentleman narrated her story. These two were lovers. They started their relationship in 2018. So they went on as friends, and also they had their love affair, but they didn't go into the sex area or the romance,
intimacy,
the intimacy part of it. So during that period, they went into the next step of marriage. They got married, but when they went back home, the gentleman told the wife that I don't have legs.
But this just keeps on telling me, like, we need to be patient for some things, you know. But okay, I'm looking at this story like, yes, I don't know if he was right or he was wrong.
Who was wrong?
Not the gentleman, for not telling the woman that he actually didn't have legs. But I don't think that's a disadvantage.
No, but I don't think it's because if that's the reason why they say you shouldn't have sex before marriage, because anything that comes with your partner, you're supposed to embrace it.
That is true.
And if you say you love me, that means you love the whole of me.
So love is blind.
Love is blind. But in the story of the gentleman, he says, oh, both of his legs were amputated. They were amputated, and it was the result of the Rwanda war that was happening during that time, where the parents shifted to DRC, and when they had to return back, the whole of this family had to return back. During that process, that's when he rose and he had no leg. He was not feeling one of his leg. And when he was taken to the doctors, they removed one of his leg. Like, they cut it off because it was totally destroyed. But also the doctors suggested they should cut off the other because it was also damaged.
Yeah.
So he woke up to that. That's how he got both his legs amputated.
But I would like to ask the audience, would you carry on with your partner if you found out he or she was disabled in one way or another? So this story here, the gentleman does not have legs at all. I don't know if the producer has pictures of this gentleman, but the audience, I think, would like to see a picture. He has no legs from the knees downwards. He just has...
Well, the viewers will ask how come he was moving and the lady was not noticing. Well, he had the doctors during that time, after they amputated both of his legs, they suggested to give him the prosthetics
Yeah.
that would help him to move easier.
Yeah.
So
So
That's
this is
why
because
he couldn't notice.
Yeah, this is.
But when they asked the lady, when the guy narrated the story to the lady said, "It's okay. I love you who you are, and I can't change that about you. I love you from the beginning, and I'm going to change.
Oh wow!
I want to wash away all the cries and all those bullies that have been taken against you."
That is.
So I believe this is
So
a
now
love,
this
sweet
is
story.
a true love story.
And this has interested everybody. It has even surprised everybody. Unlike in situations where we find maybe one of the spouse will decide to run, because we have
Of
seen
course,
incidents.
of course. In most instances, someone would run away. They would be scared. Like, okay, how am I going to deal with someone without legs? So, but this is
But
a true
Jude,
love story, and it's inspiring.
It's
and
inspiring, but it's a challenge to everybody of us.
yeah, but look, you're not marrying the person for their physical abilities. In most cases, when you're in a relationship, it's not about what the person has on them physically, but what they can provide emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and the sorts.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she was overlooking all of his physical disabilities and focusing on the mental, the psychological goodness in him. You know?
That's what she's saying.
Because I'm sure he's a smart guy. Yeah. So it's not the legs that are working, but it's his brain that is doing the work. So he's definitely able to provide for his family.
And that's why the lady was able to stay, because it's not the physical appearance that attracted him to it, but the soul or the heart that the guy has.
So Brenda, what advice would you give the ladies out there?
Also the gentlemen, I would say give
for the gentlemen.
I would give the same advice you've given to the. It's not a difference. There is no difference between the two. You're both falling in love. It's either you fall in love with the person of the heart or with the physical appearance.
Okay, so
because
for
we have
me,
also seen incidences where a man marries a woman, but reaching there, she finds maybe the woman doesn't have any physical part of her body, or she's not the same as he expected.
Makeup.
Yeah, the makeup.
So,
no, but if you fall in love with it, then you shouldn't fall in love with the makeup, and when you reach the marriage, and
but for me, I believe in total honesty. Like, if you're in a relationship with someone, be open with them. Tell them what is wrong with you from the very beginning, so that they're not okay. I love the turnout of this.
There is still like them, and they run away from the beginning.
Then you know they do not love you.
Even before. No, they Jude. Okay, there is what they call love at first sight, but there is that love that develops along the way as you continue the relationship. You find that this person is interesting to be with.
But here is the
or
thing,
if you believe that they're the right person to be with. So imagine if I tell you, Jude, you have phoned me, maybe you've seen the physical appearance and you're attracted to me, and you're like, I like you, and then I tell you maybe I don't have both of the legs, or I'm disabled somewhere, you run away. But
here is the thing, I'm not saying on the first date, on the second date, you begin uttering out whatever is wrong with you. No, this is it's a bond that is built within a long time period of time, not a 1 month thing. Like, okay, hey, I'm missing a toe. No. That's not how it works. But when the more you keep on building the relationship, I'm sure. I say, in my opinion, tell your partner what's up. Tell her what she's going to be missing out. The people who get into a relationship and they just want to be in a relationship and nothing else, you know. But your partner might be looking for something and you might not be having it. Like, for example, someone who is barren, someone who is, disabled one way or another. I'm sure if your partner knows it, then they will go like, oh, he doesn't have this, but I'm fine with it. I love him as he is. I love her as she is. But someone down the road will be like, me, I can't be with this person here because of this. So it's a different story for everyone.
It's different but inspiring to the rest.
Yes.
Yeah, there are those who say, no, me, I can't do that. I will just dish the guy on that very day.
Especially people who be looking for physical appearance. You
like,
see someone,
like
you see exactly. No. It's actually
for the ladies, it's not mostly on the physical, but maybe I would say the finances for some ladies.
Some.
Yeah, for some. But Jude, we stop there. We are not love experts. We leave this to our viewers. Well, we continue with this story, Jude, where it's saying Eddie Kenzo, a day before on Friday, we talked about how Ezekiel, the children who won the East Africa's Got Talent, and they were not paid the ransom they got.
And it was a very large amount of money.
Eddie Kenzo and Ann Kansime came out and called the East African Got Talent to please pay these kids.
Of which they should pay them. It has been overdue, long overdue. They should pay these winners. They earned the money. Whatever they should come out and clarify on why the children are not. This Ezekiel and the sister.
Yeah, Ezekiel and is the sister Esther.
And Esther, why they're not getting their money and when they are planning on giving them their money, because I'm sure if I've done something and I've earned the right to get what I have earned, then I should get what I've earned, right? So
well, Jude, speaking about talent, this marks the end of this part or segment. Speaking about talent, we all look at talents as our dreams of all the source of money and all that, because not everybody gets that. But I believe everybody has their specific talent.
Everybody does have a talent. There are people who have gifts, and there's a difference between a gift and a talent. But a talent can be developed. A gift you're born with. That's my definition of.
So what is your talent, Jude?
My talent?
Yeah.
I am a sports person, and what you teach me in any kind of sport, I will understand. I will be very, very good at it, and I will surpass whoever I found there. That is my talent.
Well, speaking about, we are going to show you a video of this young girl. She has a group called Anna Zinda Roots Culture, and they are showcasing the talent she has. I believe this is a talent.
Yes, most definitely.
Well, she's called Oyela Josephine. She's owning this crew. And she's training these young children and all that. So dancing and all that, I believe it's also inspiration to all this. So people who want to also help up can always contact us. And also our viewers, if you believe you have anybody who has a unique talent that you want to share with us, be it anything, please share with us. We shall always air out on air, so that everybody learns, because this is a unique thing.
Yes, this is Uganda, and we are here to support Uganda. We are here to support Africans in whatever field they are in. So yes, if you know anyone, if you have a talent, just reach out to UTC Media, and we shall give you an opportunity to show your talent to the world. And
let us show you the video, and you see how she does this. Because trust me, I don't think I can do it, Jude.
I don't think I can do it either. But yes, talent is talent. It can be nurtured. It can be built on. In the long run, as I said, practice makes perfect. The more you keep practicing something, the more you perfect it.
But you can practice something and you fail to do it still.
That is true.
And there is that one who would even just do one practice and they do it at their best.
Yes.
That's why I say this is just a unique talent.
But we are going to go into this short video. When we get back, it will be the Forex exchange for you and the top world stories from us. So keep tuned and don't go anywhere.
Hey, welcome back from that short break. Thank you very much. As usual, today is November, 1st Monday, new month, new year. It's a new month, not a new year, but a new day. As usual, Nav Kenya Mariam to give you the updates about the forex exchange rates. And I think today I'll start the US dollars. You know the dollar is too low, so the US dollars it is at 3,533 Ugandan shillings. And when it comes to selling, it is at 3,667 shillings. And when we go to British pound it is at 4,861 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to the selling, or for you to go and buy, it is at 5,075 Ugandan shillings. When we come to euro, it is at 4,013 Ugandan shillings the exchange. And when you go for selling or for you to go and buy, at 4,296 Ugandan shillings. When you go to Kenyan shillings, it is at 29.94 Ugandan shillings. And when you go to selling or for you to go and buy, it is at 34.15 Ugandan shillings. And then go to Zanzibar, it is at 219.62 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to selling or for you to go and buy, it is at 266 Ugandan shillings. When you go to Chinese yuan, it is at 431.98 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to selling or for you to go and buy, it is at 701.98 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to Rwanda, it is at 2.40 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to selling or for you to go and buy, it is at 5.21 Ugandan shillings. When we go to Tanzania, it is at 1.28 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to selling or for you to go and buy, it is at 1.89 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to the Gulf countries or Saudi Riyal right now, one Saudi Riyal, it is at 900 Ugandan shillings. It is at 850 Ugandan shillings. And when we go for them to sell or for you to go and buy, it is at 1,000 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to the UAE dirhams, the exchange rate, it is at 850 Ugandan shillings. And when we go to them to sell or for you to go and buy, it is at 1,000. So it is the same with the Saudi Riyals. But when you go to Oman Riyals, the exchange rate for one Oman Riyal, it is at 8,500 Ugandan shillings. And when we go for them to sell or for you to go and buy, it is at 10,000 Ugandan shillings. And for today, that's all I have for you. I'm going to take you back to the main studio, or I'm going to take you back to Brenda and Jude. Please and please, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell after subscribing. And don't forget to share, like, comment. Please bring in your ciao for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mariam, for those forex exchanges. I am still Jude Klein, your host, and Brenda as my co-host, and this is Behold Africa. Now, this marks our next and last segment of this show, which is Top World Stories. Now, in our Top World Stories today, we have a man who died of a bull attack in Spain. The reports here say a 50-year-old man has died after being grimed at a bull running event in the eastern Spain town of Onda. Now, for those of us who watch international news, for those of us who watch international events, we have seen these kind of extreme sports, and some of you know about bull riding. Now, bull riding is you get on the bull and begin riding it, as the word states. And then there is, those people who have watched bull wrestle league also, where you wrestle the bull. You don't necessarily wrestle it, but you have a red flag, and then you try to tease the bull around. And yes, from one of these events, a man was ran over by a bull. Now, we know very well, in comparison, the body ratio in comparison between a man and a bull, the strength and the body ratio, we are weaker than these animals. And yes, during this event, a 50-year-old man was injured, and on his way to the hospital, he passed on. Brenda, I want to engage you in this conversation. What do you take of this event?
It's sad, but I also look at the challenge itself for the event. It's, who does that?
Yeah, well, they're called extreme sports.
Well, I know it has been happening because I've seen it several times, and I was amazed by it. But also, I was also in Mbale, with those cattle wrestling.
Yeah, cattle wrestling.
But it's this time it's not on people with cattle running over people. No, it's cattle wrestling themselves. You see the winning cattle or the winning bull. But now in Spain, if that I saw it and I was like, but can this thing get better also at some moment?
Yes, most definitely.
And I'm all aware when I read the story, they said it was happening, no, but it was put on store because of the COVID-19.
Yes.
So this was a new event that had
just come back.
Yeah. And it's sad that it lost a life. And they say it's not the first time it's happening, though it's rare.
Most definitely, it's not the first, because you see, when you look at extreme sports, take an example of bungee jumping and the sorts. All of these things happen, but there are precautions that are put up to, safeguard the onlookers, to safeguard the audience that is watching.
Yeah.
So, yes, but precautions are just precautions. It's not insurance that nothing is going to go wrong.
And in all games, I believe you can never avoid this, because even
the simplest of
even
sports.
the normal games we see, like maybe the football, we always experience this, where maybe a player breaks his arm,
breaks his leg,
and before you know it, they're into surgery and it claims their life. So I believe this is a game like any other.
Yes, it should be expected in most of the sports that we play. Extreme, simple, medium, it should be expected in all sports. But what do we do to safeguard ourselves from these incidences? What do we do to safeguard ourselves from these injuries and deaths? That is the question out there. Well, yeah, it's very sad that this man lost his life during an event. I'm not sure if he was participating or he was just part of the audience, because I'm assuming
he was participating.
He was participating.
So
that's very sad.
He was participating.
That's very sad. He came to showcase his talent, and it turned out bitter in the end.
Well, I would say it's so sad, because when you look at all the news we're showcasing today, it's all about losing lives.
One of these days, it should be a different
It's all
story.
about losing lives. And for example, also that the incidents I read somewhere where what happened in Kenya, the school.
Oh, the school at Barabao burning down. Now, we're still getting news from Kenya, but yes, a girls' dormitory. Remember, schools have just been opened, especially here in the East African countries. Schools they were closed, then now they're starting to reopen. Here in Uganda, most of the university schools are opening today.
Yeah,
but
will open in January.
And others, for those primary and secondary, they will open in January. But in Kenya, school has been ongoing for, I think, the past 3 months. And this incident happened at a school called, the name was not disclosed just yet, but the event happened in a state called Barabao, where a fire outbroke in a dormitory. Not sure if the students were in the dormitory, but it was during day, so I'm sure they were in classes or something like that.
Well, our viewers should stay locked in, because we shall bring you definitely that story. We shall bring you a video, because I said, but we need to. If you stay locked in, if you share, if you like, or you subscribe, you'll always get these new bulletins on UTC Media, on Behold Africa, and we have more stuff to come on board. Well, I will also go into our top world stories, where the first group of the LGBT of Afghanistan, they were taken to Britain by the UK government.
So this is because, not many countries have accepted these laws. Not every country is very welcoming. Actually, most countries are very harsh on gayism, LGBT. Let me just say on LGBT. But yeah, the UK.
Well, for those who don't know LGBT, it's just the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and we all know that some of these are not accepted in our community. Just like even us here Africans, we are getting it hard to embrace them because of our traditional background. It's hard. And trust me, I don't believe. Okay, there are those who would accept it because they would say they are born like that. But it's hard to embrace it because basing on our root, because our tradition does not allow this. Well, this group was shifted to Britain by the UK government
For their safety?
for their safety because of the, we all know that Taliban,
Yeah, Taliban.
the Taliban, also the Taliban, they took over the Afghanistan state. So, and they are not accepted in this community.
In
They are
most
not.
communities.
And those who are found to do so, or they are found to do having the same act, they are stoned to death, or they are killed there and there.
Executed, yeah.
Yeah, they're killed there and there. This is an act that is not accepted. So one of the person who was taken the other side among the group, he said he felt free.
Yes.
And he,
Because he's in a community that actually accepts them for who they are.
he lived in fear because we're still there when the Taliban were taking over.
Yes.
So now being shifted, as he just told the BBC, told them he feels free that he was taken out, and he feels free, very okay in the environment he is, that he can even exercise whatever it is.
Now here is a report from BBC that read, on Saturday the first group of LGBT Afghans that the UK government helped have left Afghanistan and arrived in Britain. And as Brenda was explaining, they were interviewing one of them, and he said, "I feel free. LGBT Afghan refugees who arrived in a refugee who was interviewed after arriving in the UK said these lines." So these are words that I just quoted from one of those interviews. And yes, UK is one of the countries that accepts gender as it is. So for countries like Afghanistan do not, and you will be executed for the act. And yeah, it's very sad that someone can be killed for what they are, but that is what is there.
They are not accepted in the community. That's
Yes,
the thing, and
they are
you never
not.
change people's mind.
That is true.
Especially if their grounds is no, that's a no go. You cannot.
Yeah, but you see, in those countries, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, and the likes, they have very harsh laws about almost everything. Now, we were talking about our first MPs here in Uganda, our first woman MP here in Uganda. Now, those countries do not even accept women being in the places of power, which is very ridiculous because it's not only the men who lead. I'm a man, but I'm like, even women have ideology that can be put out there and would help the society. So
I believe they should also look at that and please adjust, because
yeah,
we are going in a new
it's
era.
a different society.
We have to change some of these norms.
Yes,
as
that
long
is
as
true.
it does not affect our morals, I would say.
Yeah.
So in other news, you have the USA President Joe Biden called the USA handling of the security US Britain submarine deal with the Australia Class C in efforts to repair the nation's relationship with the France. The US deal involved the previous deal between France and Australia.
Yes.
Have you heard about that?
Yes. Now, this event happened during the G20 summit, which went on in Rome. And this story here actually brings me to one that I just recalled. In the morning, the news bulletin stated that the spokesperson of Joe Biden actually got COVID. And they were together last week on Tuesday. So, do you think even the president has COVID?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Not until they come out, because we have all been near people who have COVID and we don't get caught, depending on our.
So is it luck or precaution?
No, it's not luck. It's precaution. Sometimes.
But if you don't wear your mask, you stand high chances of getting
But
COVID.
there are those with high immune system, I would say.
I don't know. There's a controversy on that. I don't know if it's about
Because
immunity.
I also say, because we also have seen in the community where people have lived with COVID and they don't know they are living with COVID. We have seen such incidences
Yes.
here.
So
Just
those are
a mere-
asymptomatic COVID carriers, but you still infect others.
You would still, if
You still definitely
I'm not
infect
an
others.
expert, maybe you
Just
should call the doctor.
because you're not.
one
suffering
thing I
that.
know,
Mhm.
it's keeping the SOPs.
Yes,
that is
most
the
definitely.
best. And
Wash
then-
your hands. I don't know how long it takes to wash. Just get a piece of soap. Wash your hands. That's very easy. Wash your hands thoroughly. 20 seconds also, and wash between your fingertips, your fingernails, and That is it. Wear your mask,
Go for
social distance,
vaccination.
go for vaccination. Oh, one of the requirements for all the students who are reporting to school, the post-secondary students who are reporting to school starting today, you are required, it's mandatory by the government for you to get vaccinated before you start school.
If you don't have a card, no school.
Yeah, if you don't have a card, you don't go to school. So
And also for those who wear masks but they keep them below their chin.
we do most of us do that a
You
lot.
saw that clip when they called them foolish? If you
Yeah.
keep it below your
Your
cheek, or you just put it across.
So most of us do that. I have been caught off guard myself, where you take it down to say something and then you forget it down, like it stays there and you forget that you're supposed to put it back,
Yeah.
onto your nose and mouth. Now there are also people who just cover the mouth. You're not protecting yourself against anything because this thing is airborne. Yeah, so cover both your nose and mouth, not just the mouth, or keep the mask below your chin and keep the SOPs.
Well, in other news of the world stories, we have several injured in a knife and arson attack on Tocho underground train. 10 injured in the incident, suspected after the guy who did so was in his 20s.
Wow, that is very saddening. Now the cause of this attack is still being investigated.
No, it's still being investigated, but when you read ahead, they say they have been seeing such incidences of these killer men, the knife killer men, who come on board, they kill people because they're killer men, and
So is
it's
it?
not a new incident because they also, when you go ahead to read, they will tell you this has been happening. There is also another incident where one of the, I would say they said August, still the one of these knife killer men also poured acid on the people who were around, and a lot of people lost their lives. So it's not a new attack, and I believe this is a strategy for those terrorists. Just like how in Uganda we had a baby Janvier in Masaka.
Yeah, in Masaka.
So for this incident, he came with the guy on the train, this knife killer guy. He came on board with some liquid substance and he poured it, and
Started stabbing people.
yeah.
So it's a psychotic.
And the sudden part of it, people started running away all throughout the windows,
Yeah,
all the exit
most
areas to
definitely.
run for their lives.
If you were on that train, now remember a train, it's moving and it's a congested space. There is no way you would stand there and be like, "Hey, I'm here, come and stab
They
me."
used all the exits. They
Most
could use.
definitely, you would want to secure your life, and the first thing that would run through your mind is, the window is the closest. Let me break it and jump out. But it's very alarming. But the officials are handling this.
Yeah, they're handling this and they're trying to find that it doesn't happen again.
Most definitely.
We are going to play a video of what happened and you see it also.
But just a point of caution for those of you who have fear of blood and sorts, I advise that you do not watch this. But yes, here is the video, and as we play it, I hope you stay tuned. Yes, welcome back from that short video. That is the content that we bring for you here at UTC Media. Now, for those of you who are not subscribed to UTC Media, I do not know how you will get to know about this content, because most of us are busy throughout the day. Or you don't have time for reading this news. You don't have time for, having a hard copy of what to read. But here at UTC Media, you can just simply subscribe. Here to on UTC Media, it's the same name everywhere, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and you will be up to date, especially here on the show Behold Africa, where we bring for you the hottest scoops around the world. Now, on that note, it will lead me to Halloween. Halloween is a celebration in the US. Here in Africa, we don't celebrate it, but it's a celebration that goes on in the US.
But I also seen some people celebrating it.
Yes.
They're embracing the culture.
The culture. It happens 31st of October.
Yeah.
Now, the background of story, I've not gotten a clear background of where Halloween originated from.
But those who celebrate it know the background. Actually, this is celebrated on the eve of All Saints.
Yes.
So that's when they celebrate it, and especially those European countries embrace it. But also we have our few here who celebrate it. And please stay tuned. We shall bring you all the events on what have been the Halloween, the best event. So
But-
please stay tuned.
Brenda, our viewers, some of our viewers out there might be asking themselves, okay,
Hello.
what's this Halloween that they're talking about? So please explain to them what Halloween is all about and what transpires
No, but
on
I
this
told
day.
you they should stay tuned, that we're going to bring you more of this. We are just wanted to give you a little bit of what we're going to bring. So they should just keep their eyes locked. We shall bring you the similarities of what happened and
So
all.
take this as a trailer.
Yeah, it's a trailer.
Yeah, take this as a trailer because we bring you more scoops. We
It's
bring you more
interesting
news.
because people incorporate it all over. They incorporated it in food,
Yeah.
Halloween food, and
That
everything.
is that is very
I saw a picture of the mushroom Halloween, and it was interesting to watch.
that is very true.
Well, Jude, this marks the end of our world news in the whole world. But one thing I'll also, what caught my attention before, when you go back here down, I heard, Jude, that the government or the Ministry of Health has stopped or banned the midwife, the male midwife.
Oh yeah, this actually just
has to close this show
it's,
for us.
It's in the hot news because it's just a new it's a building story.
And I believe gentlemen are happy or husbands are happy because they're complaining. How can you send your wife to be checked by a male guy?
So, but if the person is delivering,
Doctors
the
are
person
still
is,
there. The midwives are being stopped. If you're a gentleman, you are stopped. The ministry says they're stopping this.
now
The
this is actually saddening to me because now you are actually limiting someone's profession. Yeah, for me, I say if someone is doing their job, then why not? Because okay, in different sectors of the medical world, there are gynecologists who are both women and men. And you would prefer to, I mean, for the ladies, I'm sure they would prefer to go to the lady for their analysis.
actually, I've talking to ladies, some of those mothers who have given birth, and they would say the gentlemen work
handle them better.
Handle them better. They handle them with care. They pamper them, unlike the women who just back at them, just push the baby and all that.
It makes me wonder why. But anyways, the minister of she came out and was like, okay, no more male midwives, which is saddening. Now, what happens to the ones who have
I was
actually?
going to ask that. What happens to the ones who went for the knowledge and were practicing it all?
She says they should step down.
To what?
They should step down. They should stop practicing
Okay,
midwifery.
what should they do now?
Go and upgrade their papers.
To what?
Anything else?
What if
Surgery.
What if that was
dentary.
their passion to do? Anyway, they can
Yeah,
upgrade to
I'm-
being doctors. Because doctors are not yet stopped.
Mhm.
Male doctors, like male gynecologists, are not yet stopped. So I believe they can go for that.
Yeah, but here is the thing: for gynecologists, you have both genders, and a guy will come and wants to see a male gynecologist, and a woman will come and want to see a female gynecologist.
No, Jude, no,
But
Jude.
for the sake of the midwifery, you have no option. There's only one gender we know that gives birth, which is women. So you reach there and you have no option. You have no option but to go to whoever is assigned to you as a midwife. I don't know. It's a very interesting one.
Well, we should at least hear out what the ladies are saying. Are they handled better by the male wives, the male? So I don't believe. Anyway, my question is, what happened to these
To
people?
the ones who are acting right now.
That means no jobs.
I assume so. But anyways, this story is still building up, and we would like to get you involved. We would like to get you engaged. We would like to know what you say about this. Okay, first question: do male midwives handle you better? For the women out there who have given birth and have gone through the process of being handled by both a male midwife and a female midwife, do they do a better job? Should they be kept on the job? Or should they be stopped completely?
Do you think it's right that they should be stopped after attaining their knowledge and they're already practicing it? And it's so, I don't just understand it. But anyway, she gave a reason, Dr. Trini. So, well, Jude, this marks the end of this session. But always we end this session with the African proverb. Do you have one?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
As a reminder, I would like to tell you once again, this is Behold Africa, live from UTC Media, and it is an African theme-based show. And at the end of the show, I always give you an African proverb and translate it to what it means. Now, today's African proverb says, "The rain does not fall on one roof." Which is very true, because when it's raining, it's all over all roofs. You know? So, what does this mean? It means trouble comes to everyone at one time or another.
But we have seen incidences where this part rains and the other part does not rain.
Yes, but not one roof. You can't assume it's going to be
No, it
raining
cannot
on,
rain one.
on one roof. It can't
That's
just be on that specific house.
Yeah, that's very true.
That will become juju, just like some stories that we have come
Now
up
you
with.
also believe this.
No,
I
no.
thought about when you dished it.
That when it starts raining on one roof, I will most definitely be suspicious of that roof on what's going on. But yes, rain does not fall on only one roof. And what does it mean? It means trouble does not come to one person. Something that you think might not affect you will in turn come around and also affect you, because it does not just happen to one person. And this has been Behold Africa on 1st of November 2022. I have been your host, Jude Klein, and my co-host, Brenda. Stay tuned for more and more content coming from you live from UTC Media. Have a brilliant day and goodbye.
Goodbye.